Alexa, accept call.
You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Way, what do you know? Mr. K-Dog. How goes the war? Oh my, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, things aren't too ducky out here either. There's a lot going on in the world, and I imagine the prison system and the way the justice system works, they'll be loading you guys up again with more and more people. It's just the way it is. So what's new with you, dude? You got, oh my God, cancer. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. How's his family doing? Oh, prison is the worst place to come up with a terminal illness like that. Jeez. Oh, man. So when did he find out? Oh, man. Oh, so, I don't trust the system. It's just, yeah, we've been having a lot of complaints about the medical care over there. And it's just, it's scary, and you think they'll let him out or something. What in the world took them so long to discover he had cancer? Didn't he show any symptoms? Okay, so he did. He let them know. His family. Unbelievable. I guess maybe the cost was too high or something. So is he? Oh my goodness, is he still there? And well, just on your personal opinion, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think he has a good chance of early release? Well, yeah, I guess that would cut down on the cost, and they can keep their budget going. So, but then of course, they'd have to replace him with somebody else. So pretty soon, somebody out there is going to be pulled over and arrested, thrown in prison. You got to keep the populations up. You got to keep the budget going. Man, I tell you, I know a few people that have some pretty bad illnesses. There's folks in there that they have medication that they need, and they're not getting the proper medication. They're not being able to see specialists. And there's a lot of groups out here that are complaining. It's just that nobody seems to want to listen. People in prisons are lower class. They right now surveys show that the best job for a prison is to keep the community safe. And as long as you guys are locked up, nobody's going to get hurt, right? After all, you go to prison, you're just going to keep right on committing crimes. Why in the world should anybody let you out? Well, you and I know that. We have loved ones that are affected by it. And it's just that until that happens, and it's a shame too, there's people out here that there's groups and concerned citizens that complain about something, yet the citizens, the voters, they won't do anything until tragedy happens. And it's just, it just goes back to the saying, they came after the Jews, but I wasn't a Jew and I didn't care. And they came after the Hispanics, but I wasn't Hispanic and I didn't care. Then they came after me. And it's more or less
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Well, I really do feel sorry for them. Is there anything I can do for the family? Maybe send them some. Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, just send me the information and and I'll talk to them. Maybe we can get some groups to band together and get them some sort of support or something. I'm sure there's some community centers and some churches and stuff that will be happy to lend a little hand and
You have 30 seconds remaining.
offer their support in any way possible. It's just, cancer is not a pretty thing. And I'm really sorry that your cellmate had to go through that. And I know it must be devastating for everybody. Well, hopefully things will work out for you. We're looking out for you, and we're here for you. And if you just let him know that he's not alone, we'll do whatever we can. It's not going to be perfect, but it is what it is, and we'll give it our best shot. That's about. Okay, welcome to another episode of AQS Inmate Call. I am your host, Joel Wilborn, and that was a call from my good friend, K-Dog. And he found out that his cellmate has cancer. And they diagnosed it pretty late in the game, and he is not looking too good for him. He's doesn't have very long to live, and cancer's not a pretty opponent, and it really affects. Of course, it affects the person who has it and the people close to him. Not only is his loved ones going to be devastated by this, but, K-Dog, his cellmate, and I'm sure some other people in there too, and maybe even some guards and some prison officials will really feel bad about this. And hopefully they won't just shove this under the rug. If he does succumb to this terrible disease, maybe they'll show a little bit of, honor, respect for him. And it's something that a lot of the loved ones have to deal with. They have a person in prison who is complaining, the loved ones complain. Friends, community leaders, advocacy groups, they all want the best health that could be given to these folks. And it doesn't always come. There's a few superintendents and a few commissioners, secretaries that will put forth the extra effort and do the best they can. There's even doctors and nurses that are trying. So we don't want to blame everybody. Let's at least focus on who's at fault here. His cellmate did the right thing. He complained when he had some terrible symptoms and he wasn't feeling comfortable. His family wrote letters, made calls, and apparently the prison didn't think that it was a big concern and didn't put him into get checked out right away. They pushed it back, delayed it just enough that it's to the point where it's really not going to help him anymore. And once again, we cannot blame the inmate for that. When these people are locked up, we take on the responsibility of caring for them. All these millions of prisoners, we have to pay for their care. We have to pay for their room and board. And so if someone goes to prison and winds up dying from an illness that could have been treated, if detected early enough, we fail. And that doesn't look good to anybody, especially the people that are trusting the system to care for them while they're locked up. And it's just like the military. If a person joins the military and then we go to war and the person gets killed, the family accepts that. Most of them do. Because we know the risk, and that's one of the reasons why joining the military is such an honorable thing, something that we show respect for, because there's a possibility that the person could go to war and get killed. And if the person is in the military and doesn't get proper treatment for care or doesn't get fed well, or doesn't get the proper clothing, or they're given some bad instruction, that's not good. These people are giving their life, so to speak, for their country, and they're trusting their country to take care of them. So it's not good that we fail them like that. And when these people go out and they get convicted and they're put in prison, and they're in prison for a good reason, it's not because they're innocent and they were just railroaded, because these people are guilty and they were in prison, then all responsibility for their upkeep goes to the state or the federal system. And we need to understand that. These folks, yeah, a lot of them committed some terrible crimes, but that doesn't mean that all of them should suffer like that. That is just wrong. And I hope when people think of people that are in prison, they should concentrate on helping them so that they won't go back, and cutting down cost for the prison by reducing the population. The more people that's out in the public, they can take care of their family, they can get jobs, they can pay their taxes, they can speak out, and some of them could share their knowledge with the younger folks who may be looking toward gangs or looking toward a life of crime. But this person tells them what they should look out for and how they can come up out of that. There's a lot of good that can be done by not going to prison and preventing it before it happens, rather than reacting to the problem. We need to be more proactive, I suppose. Yeah, it's sad news to hear something like that. And I hope one day, and I hope it's soon, we'll get a hold on this and people don't have to go through any more of these terrible, terrible tragedies. Well, thanks for tuning in and listening to my issue, and hopefully you're not affected by a loved one that's being mistreated in prison. If you are, you can reach out. There's people out there that agree with you, support you, and will do what they can to help you out. Well, go out, have a great day, and make wonderful memories for tomorrow.